right, ladies and gentlemen, we're back in the building. I had a brief technical difficulty right when I was in the middle of talking about that Cam Newton shit, man. I'll get back on that shit another day. We'll get back on the Cam Newton another day. What I want to do is I want to go straight into the topic of the night, and that's going to be on the latest developments in the Fani Willis disqualification hearing. And so here we are, ladies and gentlemen. We have a complete shit show going on in the great state of Georgia by way of none other than Atlanta, aka ATL, aka AT Hell. Now, in case you've been hiding under a rock or strictly watching left-wing media outlets, the DA office in Fulton County is looking more corrupt than the people who they're actually prosecuting. Fani Willis and Nathan Wade are both facing disqualification from the Trump case, but honestly, that could be the least of their problems. So, just for a quick recap, Fani is accused of hiring her lover, Nate Wade, as a special prosecutor, paying him over $700,000, which is way more than anyone else on the case who has a contract or was contracted out made, might I add. And profiting off the relationship through going on lavish vacations and trips across the world. Now, if it's proven that the relationship started prior to the date he was hired, that would be grounds for dismissal from the Trump case. But those are the least of her problems. Both her and her lover, Nate Wade, testified that their relationship began in 2022. However, an alarming amount of evidence proves otherwise. Fani's best friend testified that Willis and Wade had been involved since before 2019 and that she had personally witnessed them together in the condo that she was leasing to Willis. But this latest news has come out recently involving Nathan Wade's best friend, former law firm partner, best friend, and also served as Wade's divorce attorney, Terrance Bradley. Now, before I get into this, I want to show you people exactly how the left-wing media is intentionally underreporting the facts of this case. Check out this clip from MSNBC. Let's go. We're going to break this shit down tonight. All right. Second. Here we go. And let's make sure we get some fair use action going here too, so we don't get no copyright strikes. All right, boom. All right, so let's check this out.
Katie, bring me up to speed. What happened today and what does it mean?
So Terrance Bradley retook the witness stand after he had a 90-minute conversation behind closed doors yesterday with Judge Scott McAfee in Fulton County. During those 90 minutes, from what we learned today, Judge McAfee explored a very specific carve-out when it came to otherwise privileged communications between Terrance Bradley and his former client, Nathan Wade. Terrance Bradley used to be the divorce attorney for Nathan Wade, but what has come out after almost 2 hours of persistent questioning of Mr. Terrance Bradley is the following. Terrance Bradley has zero, and I want to emphasize zero, personal knowledge as to when any personal relationship between Nathan Wade and Fani Willis began.
You can't make this shit up now. Now, if y'all been following this hearing or have heard anything about it, not from MSNBC or CNN, you know that what she said is a complete and utter lie. You know that what she just said is a complete and utter lie. I'm going to rewind that a little bit.
Zero personal knowledge as to when any personal relationship between Nathan Wade and Fani Willis began. Why is that important? Well, this is a continuation of an evidentiary hearing. And I can say this to you, Nicole, there is a word in Yiddish for Terrance Bradley, and that is yenta. He is a gossip. He's a busybody. And as a yenta, he has passed along idle gossip about a relationship between Nathan Wade and Fani Willis. That is all. But gossip and innuendo do not make evidence, despite what the defense wants to happen in this case. And if you think about it, we've gone back to square one, which was at the close of the evidence almost 2 weeks ago. Judge McAfee had only heard from one person who disputed the timeline offered up by Fani Willis and Nathan Wade. And that one person is a former friend of Fani Willis and a former employee who I have and others have kind of construed as being a disgruntled former employee, Nicole. But this is just a highlight of how far.
Okay, so I'm gonna stop her right there. Because I mean, if, like I said, if you've been keeping up with this case, you know that these are all lies. She goes on and on and on, and never ends up telling the truth. But I'll stop it right there. Because this just goes to show you, man, MSNBC has no credibility to me at this point. They went through that whole entire clip and failed to mention that this man, Terrance Bradley, sent text messages to Mike Roman, Trump's co-defendants' attorneys, including Trump's attorneys. He sent text messages to this woman admitting that Fani and Wade were lying. Now, in this NBC clip,
we've gone.
They went on the show like very short clips of some of the things he had to say, but they didn't really show you what actually went on when he took the stand. Now, before we get to the videos of what actually happened when he took the stand and how he got grilled by all the lawyers, let's read the actual text messages that this dude sent to Trump and Trump's co-defendants' attorneys. Let's read the text messages. All right, here we go. Got them right here for you. All right. We'll start here. This is from Ashley Merchant. This is from her phone. And these are text messages she received from Terrance Bradley, the man who is in question. Let's read the first text message. It says, and this is, what's this date? 9/14/2023. It says, so the FCDA, which is the Fulton County District Attorney, Open Records is saying they don't have an original contract from when Nathan began work. They only have his renewal contract. Is that possible, she asks. File attachment with me type image. She sent us some type of image. Terrance Bradley says, wow. She says, they're stalling big time. Terrance Bradley says, yes, they are. Text message from 9/18/23. Now, ladies and gentlemen, keep your attention caps on, because we got a lot of messages to read here. We're going to get through them. Any idea who I could get an affidavit from on the affair? No one would freely burn that bridge, he says. She says, okay, if Chris was asked under oath, would he know? Terrance Bradley responds, no. Ashley says, wow, I figured he would. I didn't expect them to be so careful. He then says, he knows, but he won't admit it. Text messages from 1/5/24. About a month and a half ago. She asked him about the trips. She says, last trip was last summer, May or June. He says, no, I don't know. I was gone by then. Doesn't surprise me. They took many trips to Florida, Texas, and she says, and Napa. He says, California. She says, yep. Then it says, when she moved their daughter there. Oh, sorry. Okay, when she moved their daughter there, I can't believe they were so. I can't believe they were so carefree. Sorry, these letters are small. I'm trying to anticipate her response when I blow this up. Her daughter flunked out of FAMU and moved to Cali. This is from Terrance Bradley, basically saying why they took trips to Cali. I mean, he goes on and on. There's a whole bunch of threads here. She asks, they had a full-on relationship. Insane, just insane. Then he says he went to help her move her. Why would she hire him is insane. Terrance Bradley says yes. Then she says, just like, don't hire him. Do you think it started before she hired him? She's talking about the relationship. Terrance Bradley says, absolutely. This is an important one. Because this basically proves everything that everyone's been saying. She says, absolutely. It started when she left the DA's office and was judge in South Fulton. Then she says she liked what he said. They met at the municipal court CLE conference. That's what I figured when he was married. Upon information and belief, Willis and Wade met when both were serving as magistrate judges and began a romantic relationship at the time. Then he says, he corrects himself. He says, no, municipal court. Excuse me, he corrects her. She says magistrate judges. And he says no when she was a municipal court judge. She says, thank you. Then he says, but you can't put where they met. Not many people know that. I might be one of the only, not even Chris Campbell. So he basically says, I know where they met, when they started dating. I might be the only one, not even whoever Chris Campbell is. So as you people can see, I mean, this is important because I'm getting ready to get into his testimony. I'm getting ready to get into his testimony where he denied all of this stuff, even though all of these text messages are on the record. We'll read a few more and then we'll move on to the videos. Then she writes, I'm almost done with my motion. I'm not filing it till Monday. Go home and sleep. I can send you a draft. Can't wait to hear about your trip. He says, okay, happy hunting, LOL. To your knowledge, has Nathan ever prosecuted a felony? I can't find a single one. Terrance Bradley then says his best friend, never in his life. He has never prosecuted a felony. That's what I found too. It's bad. Then he says, send a rough draft. Now, this is important right here because this is something that a lot of people aren't talking about, right? This man who they're paying all this money to, $600,000, right? Excuse me, $700,000. This man has already made off the case, more than any other special prosecutor hired on this case. I think the next highest salary was $94,000 so far. He's got $700,000. He's the highest paid special prosecutor on this case, and he has never ever prosecuted a felony. How does this make any sense? How does this make any sense? Why is no one asking the questions? See, black people are too comfortable, man. You Negroes are so preoccupied with fucking with Trump, you don't even see the corruption going on with your own people, with your beloved Democratic Party. All right, let's get to a few more text messages and we'll get to the video. Then, now they're talking about the motion. It says, it's okay. Add me to the footnote 15 and how much I made. He said, she said, I took you out. I can add that back. Good point. Yes, add it back. Anything else? Anything that isn't accurate? He says, looks good. Now, this is important because in his testimony, he tried to pretend like he was only talking about the footnote part when clearly, if you read these text messages, that's not the case. Then it says, how do you think they will respond? I'm trying to anticipate. Then he says, did you look at the campaign contributions? I can't remember what we gave her when she was running. See, this man was spilling all the tea. Says, how will they react? Attack me? Give the stupid no fear or favor speech? That's another conversation. No, they will deny it. He says, no way. He said, they won't attack you. Oh my God. They will say all those trips and cruises were for work, even though he didn't submit them for reimbursement. He says, yes, they're going to deny it. Then it says, do you know when she was elected, he was on her executive team and was a part of all interviews for people she hired and fired. They will still deny it. And she says, I didn't hear that, but didn't include it because I didn't have any proof. Was he just not paid for that? I'm not sure if anyone from that office would verify. I'm shocked she paid him so much. How did they think they wouldn't get caught? Why not just pay? Why not just not pay Nathan? He says. He replies, arrogance. Did the security accompany them on their out-of-town personal trips? He says, no, not out of town, but would go to our office for dinner. She says, okay, thanks, yada, yada, yada. He says, yes, I may subpoena the detail, but wasn't sure. He said, yes, but they changed. You need to subpoena the original detail. So basically, in a nutshell, he's given up all the information. He's given up all this information. He was giving all the shit up to this attorney. And then when he got to court, they put him on the hot seat. And he tried to wiggle out of it. Now, granted, with all of this information out, all of these text messages out, why did we not hear any of this from the MSNBC report that I just played? Why haven't they been talking about this? Because they're not reporting actual news. They're not giving you honest journalism. They're feeding you propaganda. All right? They're feeding you propaganda. Now, next up, I'm going to play some of the videos from his actual testimony. I'm going to start with the cross-exam by Ashley Merchant, which is the woman he was going back and forth with these text messages with just a little over a month prior to this hearing. All right, so here we go. Second. All right, man, there we go.
Okay. Did Mr. Wade tell you about the trips that he and Ms. Willis took?
No.
Do you have any knowledge of the trips that he and Ms. Willis took?
Objection. Hearsay. Overruled. I do now.
Okay. But you did not before this proceeding?
I did not know until you text that you found that in the deposition of his divorce. I mean, not deposition, but something from his divorce.
Okay. And when you responded, doesn't surprise me, they took many trips to Florida, Texas, California. Those are your words, though, right?
I would object as to relevance. He said he did not know, and he actually learned from this merchant the information.
Now, granted, he sat right there and lied on the stand, because if you can clearly see the text messages that I just showed, if you watch the playback, you can just rewind and look at it. In these text messages, he just showed that he was adding extra information when she asked about the trips. Let's go.
He said he learned about certain trips from this merchant.
Okay, you can tie it down, but
Thank you.
we'll see.
No information about any trips that Ms. Willis and Mr. Wade took. That he learned it all from Ms. Merchant. That was his testimony.
Sure.
Judge, I'm
Maybe
allowed
the conclusion we reach. I think she's going to ask more than one question, though. All right, Ms. Merchant.
And if, Judge, just so we can be clear, if he said more than one version, that's all relevant. We're allowed to talk about the different versions that he's told.
All right, I've overruled the
Thank
objection,
you.
Ms. Merchant.
Do you remember telling me that it didn't surprise you that they took the trips that I found in the divorce file because they took many trips to Florida, Texas, California? And then you told me that they took the trip to California when she moved her daughter there because she failed out of FAMU. You remember that?
I gotta stop right there because I find that shit hilarious. When she said she took her daughter there when she failed out of FAMU. This is how I know that she's not lying, because this white woman don't even know that FAMU, that she thinks is FAMU, is actually FAMU, as in Florida A&M University. Now, why would she make that up? Where would she get that from? Where would she get it from? And it's clear in the text messages. He texted clear in the messages. Now he's gonna play dumb like he never said it.
I don't recall that, but if I don't recall.
Okay. Judge, may I approach?
Blood clot.
Sure. You may.
It's in one of the ones I gave you.
So when it,
Just first let me know if that refreshes your memory.
yes,
Okay.
yes.
So, it's true that you told me that they took many trips to Florida, correct?
Per that, yes, but one of the messages is cut off, and you asked about some other trips, and I said, no, I didn't, I think. And that was specific to, at the top of that, it says, no, I didn't.
Yes.
And so that was to the trips that you asked me about. And I think before that, when you mentioned that you found all these trips, I think I said, oh, wow.
Yes, you did.
And
You did not know about all the trips that were taken, and you qualified it. You said, no, I didn't. When did it happen? And then the next text, which I can get, or you can look at your phone, or whatever refreshes your memory, you said was after you left, after the firm was dissolved, correct?
Subject to relevance.
Overruled.
It was after the firm. The trips that you said, no, you didn't know about. You told me those were after your firm had dissolved, correct?
I think you mentioned that they were after I left, maybe, or whenever you found them. And I said, no, I didn't know about those trips, so.
So you believe I mentioned that it was after you left?
I'm quite sure you have the text message, and I will refresh my memory.
Is it easier for you to refresh your memory with your own phone or with my printouts of screenshots?
Well, you have the printout, so I'll go.
Judge, the reason I'm asking is because I'm getting objections that I've cut things off, and it's just the nature of how you have to print out screenshots. So in order to avoid that, I'm happy for him to refresh his memory with his own phone, if that would be,
Well, I don't know if he's accepting your offer or not, so.
would that be easier for you?
You can just provide the documents.
Okay. Let's see.
All right, let's skip it a little bit.
See what we can do. Well, I don't really see it along the way. I don't know what else we can cover that actually moves the needle.
Okay, I'll move on to the actual trips. So you told me that they took many trips to Florida. That refreshed your memory. You told me that. Was that based on your knowledge from Mr. Wade?
That would have been based on anything that my client would have told me. I didn't have personal knowledge of whether they went or not.
The trips to Texas, and you're the one that takes to Texas. Was that based on your knowledge from Mr. Wade?
It would have been something that came from the client. I cannot tell you that I have any personal knowledge of.
So she just asked this motherfucker, is that based on your knowledge from Mr. Wade? And he said, that would have been based on my client. So the answer is yes. The answer is yes.
I love you, Carly.
Of any trip other than what would have been said by the client.
Obviously, I'm not asking if you went on these trips. I'm asking if you have knowledge from Mr. Wade. You also typed California. Was that something that you gained from knowledge from Mr. Wade?
It would have been from the client at this particular point. Yes, it would have been from the client.
All right, we can stop this one right here. Let's get on to the next one. Let's get on to the next one. This is also a good one.
Or meet with anyone from the district attorney's office?
Now, this is Trump's lawyer grilling him.
No. I mean,
Sure.
no. Not that I know, I'm aware of, no. I did not meet to anyone.
Sorry?
I did not meet with anyone outside of my attorneys.
Did you have any conversation?
I did not.
Meeting, conversation.
I did not.
So you have not spoken, if I understand you correctly, prior to coming into court today, you've not spoken with the prosecutors,
No.
right?
I've not spoken to the prosecutors. I've not spoken to defense.
Have you spoken to Mr. Wade?
No.
So, as far as just getting into the courtroom today, there's been no contact or conversation in it with any of the parties we just went over, right?
There has not been any contact with defense or the state at all.
I think I have basically just one or two more questions.
Here we go to the good part.
Why would you see the need to speculate when you were texting with Miss Merchant?
I think we did cover that one, Mr.
Let me give you some context here because I actually watched this whole thing. These are just bits and pieces. Now, earlier in the hearing when they asked him a direct question that he couldn't say, if he would have said yes, which he's gonna get caught up again. If he would have said yes, he would have incriminated himself. If he would have said no, so because it was clear that he was giving out the information, so they asked him a straight up question: did this happen? And his best answer was it was speculation. Even though he clearly gave out these answers on the text messages, his answer was speculation. So that's what he's referring to with the speculation.
Say that. I think that exact question was already put to him. What would be the next one?
I'm trying to look. Let's go to 27. Defense Exhibit 27. Do you have that now, sir?
I do, sir.
All right. Would you look at it and tell me whether or not the Defense Exhibit 27 appears to be accurate? Because I want to seek to introduce it into evidence. It consists of an email to you from Ms. Merchant and a text response from you, correct?
Listen to this Negro's answers, man. Listen to this Negro's answers. Listen to this shit.
But the text response was not in response. So yes, it does consist of the email and a text response. I'm not saying that the text response applies to the entire email that was sent.
All I've asked you right now is,
Yes.
is the email and the text, are those accurate in the interaction that makes up Defense Exhibit 27?
As it applies to the stapling of the email and the stapling of a text message chain, yes, that is Defendant's Exhibit 27. This is, it's accurate.
Okay, I would move Defense Exhibit 27 in. I believe it was treated the same way as 26 last time.
Same objections, Mr. Abadi?
Yes, Judge.
All right, overruled. Any other objections from defense counsel? Seeing none, Defense Exhibit 27 is admitted.
All right.
Anything else?
Your Honor, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know whether you'll find this objectionable or not. I'll ask it, and obviously.
All right.
Mr. Bradley, you realize that if you were to testify under oath, that you knew from Mr. Wade that the relationship between him and Miss Willis existed before the contract in November 1st of 2021. That if you testified that you knew that from Mr. Wade, that would show that both Miss Willis and Mr. Wade had lied under oath. You know that, don't you?
This is the $1 million question.
I think that's going to call for an opinion on the credibility of another testifying witness. So I don't think that would be an appropriate question.
All right. And that's all I have, Your Honor.
Thank you, Mr. Sadow. Mr. Stockton.
So there we have it, man. This dude is all out of control. I got one more for you, and then we'll move on. Okay, hold on. Where's this hell is that? All right, here we go. Let's get it.
I think I said that, yes. I think I did, yes.
And you've been friends with Mr. Wade for over 10 years, correct?
That would have been fairly accurate, yes.
And you recall communicating with Ms. Merchant about this case and about Mr. Wade and Ms. Willis's relationship, correct?
I object as to past and answer and cumulative by all.
Real quick, if you're watching on Twitter, hit that like button, hit that share button, hit that retweet button. If you're watching on YouTube, hit that like button, hit that share button. Don't forget to comment in the comment section below. Let's go.
Sure. We don't have to lay that foundation. Why don't we combine it with the next question where you've got a new point to make?
Mr. Bradley, when you communicated with Ms. Merchant, did you tell her any lies about Mr. Wade and Ms. Willis's relationship?
Now, here's another one. Here's another question where if he answers yes, he's a liar. And if he answers no, he automatically incriminates Nathan Wade and Fannie Willis. So watch what he says.
Did I lie to Miss Willis?
That's a simple question.
It's a very simple question. It's a very simple question. You sent the text messages to the lawyer, and now they're asking you if you lied about Miss Willis and Mr. Wade in the text messages. It's a yes or no question.
Mr. Bradley, you're a lawyer. Did you lie to Miss Merchant when you told her facts about Mr. Wade and Miss Willis's relationship?
Not that I recall. I don't recall. I mentioned earlier that I speculated on some things. I've testified to what I did know, so I can't recall whether or not No.
Boom! I love you, Carly. He said all that just to say no. I didn't lie. Let's continue.
Mr. Bradley, speculation is kind of a weaselly lawyer word. Let's speak truth here. You're under oath.
Argumentative at this point, Your Honor. Not a relevant question.
Mr. Bradley.
Let's find a question, Mr. Rice.
Mr. Bradley, when you were communicating different details of the relationship between Miss Willis and Mr. Wade to Mrs. Merchant, Did you lie to her about any of those details?
Objection, asked and answered twice.
I don't think he's answered it yet.
I don't recall ever whether any of it was a lie or not.
Well,
This time, so.
at the time you were communicating with Miss Merchant, you were still friends with Mr. Wade, correct?
Yes.
And at the time you were communicating with Miss Merchant, you knew that she was talking to you in her role and capacity as an attorney in this case, correct?
Correct.
And you knew that she was going to use that information to somehow benefit and file a motion and benefit her client, correct?
I did not know that.
Okay,
So
see.
I did not. Oh, I'm sorry.
How do you not know? How do you not know that you're speaking to the benefit of the defendant's attorney when she told you, I'm filing a motion? She told you this. How do you not know you're contributing to the benefit when you're giving up all sorts of information on text? This is what I'm saying. MSNBC is dishonest reporting. They're dishonest. They left out all this shit. Hours and hours and hours worth of testimony where this man lied his ass off and dodged accountability, and they don't even report it.
But as an attorney yourself, you are testifying here under oath that you had no idea what Miss Merchant was going to do with all the details that you were giving her about Wade and Willis's relationship.
So at the time, no, I did not. I knew that Miss Merchant was gathering information. That is correct.
Okay. And did you lie to her when you told her that the relationship began before 2020?
I don't think we need to drill into specifics. He's covered it at a high level. I don't think we're going to get much out of this.
Mr. Bradley, isn't it true the only thing that has really changed? Well, you were speaking to Miss Merchant, whether by text or by telephone. You never said to her that I don't remember or that I'm speculating, correct?
I don't recall.
Well, you've looked through a whole lot of text messages. Do you remember ever seeing any communication from you that said, I don't remember?
Mind you, people, this was he was doing them text messages in January. Either he's lying or he's got to be the dumbest lawyer in America. If you're telling me this is a truthful testimony, then who would ever hire this man for legal advice again? First of all, no one's ever going to hire him again anyway, because he stuck a knife in the back of his own line brother and best friend, just because he thought he could get some coochie off of Ashley Merchant. That's what this is really all about. How can a dude be your former attorney and spill all the beans like that? That's why you gotta watch a nigga like this. And I'm not even saying Nathan Wade is a good guy. He's a liar too, just like Fannie Willis. But still, goddamn, no fucking code. Let's go, man.
Yeah, through the messages that I don't have all the messages in front of me, but no, I don't recall if I ever said I don't remember.
Do you recall?
I don't recall if I ever said I don't remember. Jesus Christ, let's go.
Seeing any text messages where you replied to her or gave her details where you said, I am speculating about this detail?
No, I never used the word speculating there.
And the only thing that's changed between then and now is that phone call from Nathan Wade's friend, Gray Banks, correct?
No, well, Gabe was my friend, and I actually stated that the first day that I was here was that I've known Gabe for a few years, and that we are fraternity brothers, and so I never said that that anything changed behind Gabe Banks.
So, in case you're not understanding what the Gabe Banks thing is about, so Mr. Banks, Nathan Wade, and him had a law firm together. He left the law firm because of claims of sexual harassment. He was never convicted or anything like that, but he ended up paying out a severance to the woman at the law firm who had the claims. So basically, what I suspect is going on here is that he spilled the beans and he was going to testify, but then Mr. Banks reminded him, hey, look, you still got this shit going on over here with sexual harassment, and there's no statute of limitations on that. So either you shut your mouth on the stand, or we're going to use the Fulton County DA to prosecute you to the fullest extent of the law for sexual harassment. What's your choice? Hence, that's why you got a tenured lawyer on the stand acting like a straight up Nimrod. Acting like he doesn't know what's going on. Because if he says the wrong thing and he causes them to get convicted, which he probably did anyway, because he can't lie on the stand, then they're gonna come after him. That's just my take on it. Let's continue.
So you never told Miss Merchant that you were worried that they were threatening you?
Objection, asked and answered. But he was asked this on February 16th and today.
Mr. Rice, we've covered this.
And just to be clear, you didn't attend college with Mr. Banks, did you?
I did not attend college with Mr. Banks.
When you referred to him as your fraternity brother, y'all just both happened to have pledged the same fraternity, different colleges, different chapters.
Well, that's what we consider fraternity brothers, yes, sir.
And as a normal course of your relationships with your friends, do you pass on lies about your friends?
I love you, Bobby.
Have I passed on a lie about a friend? Is that what you're asking?
Is that something you normally do, Mr. Bradley? Do you tell lies about your friends?
Have I told lies about friends? I could have, I don't know.
Do you tell lies about your friends about a case of national importance?
Overruled.
I could have, I don't know.
Now you tell me, you don't think nobody threatened him with a prosecution after listening to what he just said? You don't think nobody threatened him? Let's go back, man. Let's go back. I don't understand how MSNBC didn't report this, man. I don't understand. Let's go back. Let's go back. Here we go.
I could have, I don't know.
Do you tell lies about your friends about a case of national importance?
Objection, that's true.
Overruled.
I could have, I don't know.
He won't even look up at the man while he talking. He just looking down. I could have, I don't know.
Bradley, I notice you're not looking at me.
I'm looking at you on the screen only because I was accused of, and I did the same thing to Mr. Sadow when he was on the
What's the
screen.
next question, Mr. Rice?
All right. All righty. That is enough of that. So clearly this dude is lying. He's caught red-handed, and you have absolutely no mention of this on your left-wing media news stations. Now, One other issue that's barely getting any shine is the fact that Nathan Wade's cell phone signal can be traced to Fannie Willis's condo at least 35 times prior to November 2021, and 12,000 text messages and phone calls over almost 1 year period. Even though they both testified under oath that they weren't dating at the time. Now, what's even more ridiculous is that the prosecution, who's representing Fannie Willis and Nathan Wade, by the way, is arguing that that evidence should be thrown out and shouldn't be used because it's not definitive enough. Ironically, though, this is the same DA office that's prosecuting the YSL RICO case over rap lyrics. Now, to be clear, I've stated several times that YSL put themselves in this position and that the RICO case is a reward for their stupidity. No doubt about it. However, after further reviewing some of the factors that come into play, it appears as if Fannie Willis is only prosecuting YSL because of her connections to a gang member named Big Nut, I think. Pause.
I got that thug in love.
Pause. Who she allegedly was romantically involved with. Who was allegedly killed by YSL members. Granted, I'm not saying that YSL is innocent, but this is yet and still another example of a case that Fannie Willis should recuse herself from that involves her being sexually involved with the wrong people. Now, before we get to the calls, I want to say this.
I love you, Carly.
Black folks, and this is to black folks with common sense, it's time to distance yourselves from this madness. If this is what the rest of you brainwashed Negroes want to support, so be it. You're better off focusing on being a good American than associating yourself with black culture in its current state. See, unfortunately, we're too far gone, and based on the numbers, it doesn't appear as if this shit's gonna turn around anytime soon, if ever. We are so focused on the imaginary conservative white boogeyman that we don't even realize that the real enemies are the leftist lunatics that want to destroy America and use us as the guinea pig to do so. All they advocate for is to kill your babies, emasculate your boys, sexualize your daughters, break up your nuclear family system, and dump illegal aliens in your neighborhoods to neutralize your vote. And these silly Negroes fall for it every time. So call me whatever you want. Take my black card. I don't give a flying fupa about none of that shit. Hell, you can't get a damn thing with your black card these days anyway. Shit. What can you get with your a black card? You can't get shit but a piece of chicken and a Miller High Life at the goddamn cookout that you swear all these other races want to come to. Niggas got me hyped up, man. But anyways, man, we're going to take a quick commercial break while waiting to see if we get any calls. What we're going to do is I'm going to post the link into the chat. I'm going to post the link into the chat, into the YouTube chat. So if you're on Twitter or Facebook, come over to YouTube at Trippin Aint DZTV. The link will be in the chat. And I would really, really love to hear you guys' 2 cents. So give me a second. Let me put this link in the chat. All right, there we go. Links in the chat. We're going to take a quick commercial break. And if we have any calls, hold on. Let me fix that. All right. Let me do this again. All right. Call in. Boom. All right. Bam. There we go. Links in the chat. If you want to call in and give your 2 cents, go right ahead. We are going to go to a quick commercial break. Let's get it.
So dumb, my son so dumb, yeah. My son so dumb, IQ 21. He tried to make friends, but they call him Ching Chong. He eat the wonton, but he fat like Kim Jong. He's so ugly when he smile, he look like the King Kong. My son useless, can't play ping pong. He tried to get a date with the girl Soo Young, but she said hell no, cause he not that handsome. And my son so broke, can't buy the dim sum. Yeah. My son so dumb, my son so dumb, yeah. My son is so dumb, yeah. He texts Mingly, but she picked me. Too bad he broke, can't buy the milk tea. If he talk back to me, then he get his ass beat. Cause if you try me, then I do the Tai Chi. Just listen to your mommy and go eat the kimchi, or I sell your kidney for $2.50. Do not think I forgot you got being Chinese. Ancestor look down on you, go say sorry. Yeah. My son so dumb, my son so dumb, yeah. My son is so dumb, yeah.
It doesn't matter what comes, fresh goes better in life. With Mentos fresh and full of life, nothing gets to you. Staying fresh, staying cool. With Mentos fresh and full of life, fresh goes better. Mentos fresh, fresh goes better with Mentos fresh and full of life.
Mentos, the fresh maker.
Violent crime is surging in Louisiana. Woke leaders blame the police. I blame the criminals. A mom should not have to look over her shoulder when she's pumping gas. I voted against the early release of violent criminals, and I opposed defunding the police. Look, if you hate cops just because they're cops, the next time you get in trouble, call a crackhead. I'm John Kennedy, and I approve this message.
All right. We are back. And ladies and gentlemen, it does not look like we have any takers. Just a reminder, if you do want to call, you don't have to be on camera. You don't have to be on camera at all. But, sometimes I just want to hear what other people have to say. I can sit up here and talk for 3 hours straight. Right? But I got shit to do. So, anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed the content tonight. I hope the conversation was at least 50% educational, 50% entertaining, or a combination of the two. Either way, 60, 40, 70, 30, whatever. Either way, I hope you enjoyed. Listen, whether you agree, you disagree, or you're indifferent with any of the ideas that I brought up tonight, always remember, we want to hear your opinion. So don't hesitate to leave a comment in the comment section below. Now, also, don't forget to hit that like button. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Don't forget to tap that notification bell and select all. For myself and the rest of the crew here at Trippin Ain't Easy TV, peace out. Catch you on the next one.
I don't want to be hungover at work tomorrow. You can't let the fact that you work tomorrow stop you from drinking tonight. Going to work with a hangover is just a part of being an adult. But if you're going to be hungover, you might as well get paid for it. Grab a few drinks and live in the moment, because a hangover is tomorrow's problem.
I think everybody's gonna hurt.
Mike, Francois Botha, 6-1 underdog. Are there any concerns on your part?
I don't know anything about that. I don't know nothing about numbers. I just know what I can do.
How about
kill this mother?
Okay. How about the 19 months off?
What about it? What about it?
Does it pose any problem to you?
We'll see. I doubt it seriously.
You take into the ring a lot of rage. Does that work for you, or does it work against you at times?
You know, who cares? We're in a fight anyway. What does it matter?
Well, for example, rage against Evander Holyfield worked against you.
Well, it. It's a fight, so whatever happens, happens.
Mike, why do you have to talk like that?
Well, I'm talking to you the way I want to talk to you. Do you have a problem? Turn off your station.
You know what? I think we'll end the discussion right now.
Then we could.
You got it. Have a nice fight, Mike.
Off.
36.
Cops say the man pulling the trigger is 18-year-old LeVar Roach, a known gangbanger, according to detectives. A desperate manhunt is on for Roach, who is considered armed and dangerous. I showed his mugshot to this man.
Definitely concerns me a little bit, you know what I mean? But, you know, I packed that thing too, so he come around this way, you will get caught.
doesn't matter what comes, fresh goes better in life. With Mentos fresh and full of life. Nothing gets to you, staying fresh, staying cool. With Mentos fresh and full of life. Fresh goes better, Mentos fresh goes. Fresh goes better with Mentos fresh and full of life.
Mentos.
Hey, Cookie, more pecani sauce. This ain't paste pecani sauce.
What's the difference?
Cookie, paste pecani sauce is made in San Antonio with fresh vegetables and spices by people who know what pecani sauce is supposed to taste like.
This stuff's made in New York City?
New York City?
Get a rope.
Pick up the original pecani sauce. Pick up the pace.